If we say there's beauty in our diversity, then let us embrace our diverse culture. We must continue to courageously be the voice of transformation as we are the hope for the future. Yesterday's conversations shape today. What are you saying to shape your tomorrow? We know you have a lot to say, and we are here to hear you. Hello and welcome to What Are You Saying? #Ways, where we talk about topics in the news as it affects us all. I am Osayome Sally, and today I'm joined by the amazing ladies. We have Noma Fanga, Milola Tiwa Online, Honorable Milola, please, I'm sorry. And Elsie Gordon. How are you ladies? We're good. Okay, I'm not people in politics.
Absolutely.
Because I'm seeing so many.
There's a shift going on.
Yes,
There's
I'm seeing so many engagements with young people.
And I think we have an illusion of what we refer to as young people. This is just the time for us, and it's because we're in the same age bracket and we're getting into this space. That's why it looks like we're young people. This was the time the current people actually got into government.
They got in before now.
Even earlier than us. So we're really not young people. We're just stepping into the
word.
Absolutely. And the lady, gorgeous, with your hair. How are you doing,
like your
Elsie?
How did you get that?
Don't worry, I'll hook you up
We'll
later.
hook you up.
Very nice.
I know the price and the commission.
I love your hair.
How are you?
Thank you very much.
You're looking good. So
Thank you.
what's good? How's the week starting for you?
Work, really. Nothing special. I've tried to stay away from the news, but
Why?
unfortunately,
Too
when I
many
saw
sad
the
stuff.
I think there is a balance. Like, it's not, well, maybe for what you're looking for and what you're focusing on, but I deliberately try to stay away from those gory stories, and you're making me look at them today now. So yeah,
It is well.
as well.
It is well. Noma, how are you doing? How's your week starting?
Good.
Okay.
All good.
So it's an interesting conversation we're having today. I just want to, probably watch this video, then we'll come back to you.
Them shank you talk say you self go shank person. No so back here you no go shank. You dey shout Baba show me way, Baba show me way. If we show you way, shey you go fit do show the shey. Hush papi jaye, ajitu. Baba jaye Dubai, o tún jaye lọ sí USA. If you run too fast, you go die young. If you run too slow, you go die poor. Oh yeah, mo come here, Glazanta Wova. King MJ, check come adun leti.
All right, so the Yahoo menace, that's what we're talking about today. And here's what we found as today's quote. But I am acutely aware that the possibility of fraud is even more prevalent in today's world because of the internet and cell phones and the opportunity for instant communication with strangers. So the Nigerian social media space lately has been flooded with different and outrageous stories linked to internet fraud and ritual killings, especially amongst the youth and even teenagers. It's our ladies' night out. 1st, 1865. It was not ratified by the state, however, until later on December 18th, 1865. A former slave by the name Major Richard Robert Wright, Sir, created National Freedom Day. And this month is also, month of February is also the Black History Month, and it is an annual observance originating in the United States, where it also is also known as African American History Month. It has received official recognition from the government in the United States and Canada, and more recently has been observed in Ireland and the United Kingdom. It began as a way of remembering important people and events in the history of African diaspora. It is celebrated in February in the United States and Canada, while Ireland and United Kingdom, it is observed in October. So happy International Freedom Day and happy Black Month. Whatever it is. All right, so let me quickly run through our stories. Who are we starting with? Let's start with the good news first. Norma Ifanga, I think she has good news for us.
Okay, well, the U.S. government launches no interview visa renewals for Nigerians. And this was announced today. I believe the U.S. Mission in Nigeria on Tuesday, today, launched a new visa application procedure aimed at expanding services to assist non-immigrant visa applicants in the country to qualify to renew their visas. So basically, they have started this project, no interview visa renewals process, which is similar to the Dropbox that we are familiar with.
Yeah.
However, basically, they've opened their office and their portals for people to renew their visas, whether it's a tourist visa or a student visa. It's good news because a lot of people have had trauma in the last couple of years trying to either go back or to renew their visas and all of that. So
I said, please let us quickly go and get our visa before they change their mind.
I lost my passport
honestly,
and all of my travel history just went to bits.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is it possible?
Yeah.
But it can be retrieved.
You can't retrieve your visa that have been on the lost passport.
No. You can retrieve the history. What I mean.
Yeah, I don't
the
have that
records
record.
are
They
there,
have
the
it on their
history.
own system.
So,
So I'm going to be
try
applying
to
like
write
a fresh
to
applicant,
them.
and they make reference to the fact that
Yeah.
I've had visas in the past and all of those stuff.
Did you report it before then?
No, I haven't.
Because you're supposed to do a police report.
Yeah, all of
actually.
that will accompany the application.
The documents.
application,
Oh wow.
yes.
I need to get my visa.
It's a
Even
welcome
with the
development,
visa,
yeah.
you can't just get up and go again. COVID has locked us
It doesn't
in.
matter.
You can
I've
actually
been
do
vaccinated.
it as long as you're ready to
There's
pay all
access.
the
Yes.
Once you have
monies
all the
involved.
requirements,
Yeah.
basically.
It's
And
not as
if
easy
you
as
are
when you
fully
just get up and go.
vaccinated, you don't have an issue. It is people that are running from vaccines.
You don't have an issue, how?
Because if you are fully vaccinated, you don't, like, for instance, if you're going to the UK now.
That's UK now. Now US with the talk. I wanted you to make it
but-
clear.
but I don't
you have
think
to take
the-
their own vaccine.
No,
when
wait,
you
I don't
Yeah.
think the quarantine, you have to quarantine in US.
Well, you have to
Norma,
do
correct
your
me if I'm wrong.
research though.
You're supposed
You-
to do self
Yes, now it's in the house. It's not like you're going to go and stay.
Self-quarantine.
You don't understand?
They've never called they've always do self quarantine even in the UK.
So it's not that bad.
You
Well, it's not as fun as
You
it
don't laugh.
used
As
to
you've
be.
heard, when you go and come, you give us the gist.
What I have in the news is as regards the 2023 election, as that is one thing that is of interest to me lately, and so I look in that direction
As the honorable.
frequently. The former governor Ambode has a chance in PDP, says party chieftain. The PDP says they are open to welcome former governor Akeomi Ambode. As long as he's willing to come into their party, he said that he has a chance to win back the governorship election come 2023. I find it very interesting because only until recently, a former APC candidate defected to PDP in the name of Babajide Jandor, you know, and he's running under the platform of going for the position of a governor. So if you already absorb somebody from APC that is a candidate for governorship or an aspirant for governorship, I do not know why they are still opening their door. I don't know how many governors they intend to run.
Maybe they just want to
aspirants
sell.
until
They just
they
want to
get the
sell
tickets.
tickets and make money.
That is
Because I don't
aspirants
understand.
until they
They
get
act like they are really divided. Because are you saying that you've been a party for how many years and you cannot produce a candidate except you go to your
take
opponents to
defected-
PDP, I want to say that this is coming like 4 years too late, because if they wanted to get somebody
Ambode.
like an Ambode to decamp to a PDP, it should have happened in 2019.
when he was trying to
When
secure
he was
a
trying
second
to
term.
secure a second term. So
Makes
even
sense.
Ambode self, I don't think he would try it, because he would just bury himself politically. It's a wrong move.
So he's not buried politically
When
now?
the iron was hottest,
He
should
didn't
have,
strike.
he should have struck then. He didn't strike then. You know, because that was what Obaseki did, and he secured his second term. So Ambode should have done it in 2019, not now. You know, and again, I mean, recently Ambode came out in the news because I remember liking one of his tweets or his Instagram posts where he was calling out for people to go and get their PVCs and all of that. So maybe he's actually, you know, galvanizing, to be able to come back again politically. It will be a good run, but I'm saying that it's the wrong timing. The best timing should have been 2019. Should have been the last election.
Let's watch and see what.
Nothing. You can never say never in politics.
Because for me, it's really about like I mentioned, it's about the people that you're in line with. If you have the same core values, and then you can identify them at the party level. If you think that there's a bit of a disalignment, it's okay to poach. Let's keep it going.
Okay, so my story is pretty simple, no drama. INEC clears 475 candidates for FCT council election as it prepares to conduct election in the 68 constituencies of FCT on February 12th. The chairperson, Mahmoud Yakub, said the commission would ensure a peaceful conduct of the forthcoming council election in Abuja. So I thought it was necessary to take this just to remind people watching us from Abuja to pay attention to this level of politics, because it's really important and it's where governance really starts. So February 12th, I hope you go out to vote and choose the right candidate.
I hope so too. I hope so too. So our Minister for Transportation, Ochimi Amechi, he said China is no longer giving us money. They're looking to they're looking to pursuing loans from Europe. I will just leave it there.
I don't know why we're focusing a whole lot on where to get loans.
Money from
No, because so I don't have a problem with us loaning money, right? The only thing that Nigerians have always asked for is accountability as to how this money is expended. So it's not so much of loaning the money. What they're loaning money for with the infrastructure is a good thing, right? As long as you're investing it. But again, if you really want to, we already know that the Nigerian system is overbloated when it comes to civil service and all of that. If you really want to curb certain things, I think you should start from looking within and shedding some of those weights.
Absolutely.
Yes. Before you now go into say, you know what, I need to get more money to do because I think if they even shed some weight, it will be enough money to be able to solve some of these capital projects that we have. I think so. I'm just saying out of my
this weight shedding, where is it going to happen? Up or down?
It's going to. We are shedding weight now.
So unemployment will increase again.
Unemployment. Do you know what we want to bring into the system? Is a major chaos. Trust me, the fact that people have a sense of belonging and they get up and that's why civil service salary is so slim fitted and so small. You cannot afford to take people out of job, because trust me, that's the major crisis you're going to create. What I think we can do as a country is to begin to look inward and see other avenues to wealth.
Absolutely.
As against
diversifying our economy
the
in the real
focus is
sense.
too much.
Than trying to prove. I don't think cutting your nose to spike your face is a solution to it. You can't render people jobless. You're going to have increase in crime. We're talking about Yahoo. You don't even want to touch it, where people level of, in terms of depression would increase. These people go to work even though they don't work, but they have a sense of, I'm going to the office. You don't want to touch that.
I also think they're looking inward, because I saw this headline, I'm here to read it, but it says Senate sets 3 trillion naira revenue targets for federal agencies. So they are now marketers, and they will make the money.
That's not even enough. That's not even
so they are looking inwards.
They'll be taxing Milola.
What we mean when we say looking inward.
Is the rich
in the hands of tax.
FIRS. But I just want to mention that headline because now China is no longer giving us money. They say they are looking in the direction.
Why though? They don't have money to give, or they're tired of giving
money. How are you planning to pay them back?
Exactly.
It is where.
How are we generating funds or business?
I think we need to bring an economist to help us break down what this implies for us.
Please do. That's on your
an economist that's ready to break it down.
And the producer of the show.
We'll take a break now. When we return from the break, we want to discuss very sad, the Yahoo menace. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
had no desire to study law, none whatsoever. I was more.
What's your name?
Frank.
You.
Kelly.
You. What's your say una want to make una come?
Yes.
You?
Yes.
Eh?
Just one person.
How old you dey?
This year now complete 16.
You?
This year I complete 14.
You?
15. 15.
Okay. Wetin make una dey look for where una wan hustle do yahoo?
Because as the alcohol pursue us, I'm going to start to defend where we stay.
Who pursue una?
And the person where we dey stay with now.
Na him pursue una? For which community?
It's a Bagay community.
Na una dey stay?
Yes.
So una dey find where una wan do yahoo?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
Where una mama una papa?
They know the listen.
Where they dey?
They for data.
Una papa and mama know say una dey Edo State.
Yes, yes.
Wetin happen now?
As in, we don't tell you now, say, my family will they go every day, will not get us of money for the house. Any small thing we do, they start to they cost us. So now they call pursue us, now we start to defend.
All right, thanks for staying with us. Cybercrime in Nigeria is largely perpetrated by young people and students in both tertiary and secondary institutions, and are socially tagged Yahoo or Yahoo boys. Yahoo boys rely on their computer dexterity to victimize unsuspecting persons in cyberspace. A new phenomenon in cybercrime is mixing spiritual elements with internet surfing to boost cybercrime success rate. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has in recent months paraded over 60 young men and women suspected to have been engaged in crimes or in scams by using the internet. This raises a huge concern as this greedy and quick wealth epidemic has taken lives and destroyed dreams, and we are wondering what is the root cause of this menace that has eaten. Under my nose, I have seen young people that I know that are very close to home left Kaduna State and decided that they wanted to go to Edo State. And currently now, they are buying SUVs for their parents, or whatever it is that you call it. It seems like it's just all about money at all costs, no matter what it is. I just want to make money. So where exactly are we missing this, and what's causing this high
increase?
Yes, because it's so crazy and it's so scary that even children now, you can't really look at them from the eye of children. It's interesting. Noma is here. I remember Noma, when we went in 2017, we went to a school in what's the place now? Mushin, was it Mushin local government?
I believe so.
Where we did a school tour, outreach program. And I remember one of the boys, he was in SS2 then. He called me aside and he said, "Ma, the challenge I am having is, as I'm going to be finishing school now, that they're already lining up, waiting for them with computers and everything, because they've promised to give them a computer and make their life better so that they'll be able to buy cars and everything." So he was
recruiting them.
He was just telling us that, this was they were harvesting them from the schools in Motion. And he was not telling me that when our mothers and our fathers would tell us that we should go to school and make money so that we can buy them cars and get rich and everything, that the Yahoo boys are coming with the option that you don't need to go to school to make money. Now, is money that is the essence of your schooling. You don't have to go to school. Don't worry. Once you just finish from secondary school, come to us and immediately we'll recruit you and we'll give you all the equipment that is required, and you start to make money. So the boy was genuinely worried that he was in SS2. All his classmates have already signed up, and the people his set that were above him had
They were
already
already
they were already
being
there.
recruited.
They already been recruited. This was like how many years ago? 2017.
Yeah.
Do you understand? And now we are coming back to 2022. You go on social media, it's so crazy everywhere. You know, to the extent that I saw a video today of a girl saying that she knows that they use them for money ritual now. It doesn't matter, she will still continue to date them. She will still date Yahoo because it's about. So I'm not wondering, is everything just about the money, or what exactly is the real reason people would actually go to the extent of going into all these crimes?
It's very disturbing. You're back. You were gone for a few seconds. I believe is crime is not something that is new in our society. Yahoo is not something that is new. It's just more rampant and more amplified because of social media. A lot of the young people have always been under pressure. Peer pressure was generated from secondary school. But like I always say, peer pressure has left the space of children in secondary school and is now domiciled amongst adults. And because these children are really children, it's very high tendency, they are more impressionable and they are more susceptible to making the wrong choices and wrong decisions. And they fall easy prey to the people that take advantage of their innocence and their vulnerability. That's why you would see that they are the ones that are getting more recruited. Because even those that are recruiting them are taking advantage of them. The things they ask them to do, they dare not have that conversation with an adult of the same age or mind, you know. So they look at the most vulnerable in the society and exploit their innocence and promise them everything possible just so that they can perpetrate the crime on their behalf, and they get to sit in the back office and control the entire spread. So it's really not a new thing. It's just becoming more rampant because a lot of time, I'm afraid our parents are failing, and they're failing. How do we minimize this rampage that is going on? Because whether we like it or not, we can say we're lucky because our kids are still be covered. The children that fall victim are children from parents that are struggling, and some of them have to see themselves through school. That's how come they're falling victim to all of these challenges, because they're hungry, pretty much. I do not really look at those kids as the perpetrator of crime. I see children because they are supposed to be under a lot of tutelage and they're already subjected to a lot of destructive behavior while they are still going through formative stage. So it really is about who do we hold responsible for this issue? Who do we charge for this crime?
So it's interesting why when you're saying this, because I hear people say that who do we hold responsible? I mean, we are all guilty. Right? Somebody walks in here with the bathroom slippers, you know, looking all haggard. We don't accord that person respect. The person comes all decked up, maybe with diamonds and whatever.
That's when we start looking in that direction.
We now stand still and all of that because everybody is looking at it, you know. And I get you that social media has amplified. But let me hear Norma's thought, then I'll come to Elsie.
I mean, it breaks my heart whenever it involves children because these are very vulnerable upon.
Yeah.
He typed in on Facebook how to, you know, perform rituals for money rituals, and these opportunities were given to him and he decided to practice it. And then we have these young boys in Benin, and these are just isolated cases compared to the numerous cases that are ongoing on a daily basis. And it's like Yahoo is now the new, what will I call it now, Boko Haram situation we're having in the country.
It is.
And it's still, it's painful because these are supposedly the future of our nation. And this is the direction because, and I quite agree that we have failed on all levels. The government has failed, parenting has failed, the guardians or the people who are supposed to look out for them, because I was listening to this when I heard about this news today. I was listening to it on the radio, and the anchor who was talking has a show about children debating, right? Debating to win 1 million naira for their education. And then she says that these young boys who are into Yahoo could have been one of the, you know, eligible contestants to be able to have a debate where they can win money to educate themselves. And then these are the options that are available to them as citizens of Nigeria. And that tells us that there is a major problem when our leaders do not pay attention to the so-called citizens that they're supposed to be protecting or they swore to protect. Then there's a problem. There's an incongruence somewhere. There's a gap somewhere that needs to be filled. It pains me because even the options are not available. When you talk about education, what is the quality of the education that they're getting? When you talk about the society that is raising them, if the parents, because they said that they were given, as in, do their parents know that they're in Edo State? They said yes. So if parenting, as in, is to the point where go and sort yourself out,
raising themselves,
it's a problem, because that way you have literally exposed them to all kinds of vices. So parenting, you're talking of the economy. Things are so difficult for people even to thrive. We're back to these values. I know we've talked about it several times over in the past, but it's back to who we are as Nigerians, our sense of identity. What do we stand for as a people, and how are we passing these values from generation to generation? How are we responsible for ourselves as citizens and for ourselves as a nation? So on all platforms, there's a problem.
Let me come to Elsie.
Ohalawa. So I think Milola and Norma has really covered a lot. I agree, we have failed. It's not even a situation of you now pushing the blame on somebody and saying, oh, it's the government or it's the people or there are no jobs or whatever. We have collectively failed, and I see that every day, right? And I also like the fact that you said this did not just start now. It's just like every other thing. When we have this conversation, I say these things have been going on. The only difference now is that we have social media, and
bring it out,
you can sit down and realize that this is happening somewhere, right? You don't have to be
close to you
for you to know. I like that you touched on quality of education, because I've always said that even if we say get education, the education that you are giving these children now is not equipping them for the jobs that are available
for the
now.
future.
We are still talking of future. Even now, they are not available. The jobs, the education is not enough for the jobs that are available now. You see that they now come out of school and you now need to retrain them. So you have spent how many years in the four walls of education, and you still have to go through another 2-3 years for you to be able to get to a certain standard to be employable, right? Again, it takes me back to population. I know I said this thing on the show and it seems like this girl and her wahala. There needs to be a law that reduces the number of children a person can have. I don't understand how you have children you cannot take care of, and then you come out and say, Olong lon tomo.
The favorite line.
Go ye and multiply.
And
the population still keeps getting bigger and bigger. Fine, they will tell you, oh, when you have a big population, it is an advantage. But it's an advantage for people who even know what they're supposed to do with that population.
Absolutely.
The people we have leading us at the moment do not know what they're supposed to do with the population, and they're not even ready to come out to agree to it, because there's also cultural barrier for most of them in terms of, oh, we need to have this number of children to feel like we are wealthy or we have made it in life. So we have cultural barrier in that area that is affecting the decision for population. We don't even know what our real statistics are, because all we've been going on with is estimation. If you go to our population website, it takes you back to a figure that is out of Nigeria. I don't understand how that works, and I don't see it changing. I was also telling someone recently that before now, when people talk about how youths are lazy and how they are not ready to work,
we fought here.
I will say, they are ready to work, the jobs are not available. Because I was using myself as a yardstick. But you know what has happened in the last couple of weeks? I'm in a position where I had to create a program for young people so that they can come in, do some job, and also partake in some trainings, which is absolutely free, and then you make some money. But you realize that truly they are not ready to do the work. I don't know where the culture of hard work has gone. I know we've had the quotes that say there's hard work, there's smart work, everything comes together. But right now, it's like nobody is ready to work. If you give a young person the option of sitting down and begging for money on social media and giving them a job to get
they will rather pick the other one.
Rather pick the other one. And I'm wondering, how did we get here?
It's interesting.
Like, I was telling you when I was jotting down and she was making fun of me and saying while I was in school, she saw that I copied a lot of notes. And I had to tell her that even from that school, copying that notes, I was making money from music because you pay me 5 naira per note, per page or in the notes. And from there, we had a conversation as to how the thought is to making money. And for me, it has always been, you have to work for what you are going to earn. You have to work for what you're going to earn. It's not going to be handed down to you
on a
and it's
platter.
not going to be gold. Like, you're not going to work for XYZ and then you expect that you get A, B, C, D to Z. You know, so I don't know. I feel like our parents or those that have raised, like it's everybody. I don't want to put the blame.
It has to be everybody, you know.
But our mindset,
has
our
to
orientation,
change.
it has destroyed.
You know, it's interesting that Norma mentioned the debate that you are earning $1 million naira. You know, the truth is, some people go into a house, they sit down for 90 days, and they come out, they give them 50 million and a car and all of that.
Naira.
So where we have even placed value.
Exactly.
So that's why even the Yahoo boy, he will tell you that, what am I going to go and do debate for? I will go and crack my brain and be cramming this thing and everything. I would rather just sit down and type and get money. But let's take a break. When we come back from the break, we want to also open our phone lines to hear what you have to say. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
One pastor, big bishop from Port Harcourt, so I not look, I insulted him. Ibiome. Came out. What did concern you concern Yahoo people? Are they the problem of Nigeria? Say I came out, I cast every Yahoo boy. They don't do pamo. Maybe they don't see do pan. I make it they cry come and so. Yes, because sir. It's there, no talk come on. If they tell us now, still say Yahoo boys there. I cast Yahoo boys. If you there, I cast them. I cast them. I'm not saying I'm supporting, but I'm saying that he should shut up. No, did I say he should shut up? Every father. He should stop talking like that. What's his problem?
They have taken for him.
That prayer will not work. You cannot curse Yahoo boy. It cannot work at all.
The door is locked. You can't open it.
You they forbid to curse politicians. They tell me nonsense. Nonsense go pit up ridiculous nonsense. The oracle has spoken. You don't just see poor man. You Yahoo boys. I curse him. I curse him. I curse him. You know they curse politicians. Why you no go cost politician? Because now they day church. Now they buy the private jet for them. Now they buy the big motor. All the big motor where a BOM they drive. Who they buy them for? Now woman, the best way they work a month 30,000 for a month. Now they buy the big motor for them.
All right, so if you just tuned in, it's our ladies' night out, and our focus today is the Yahoo menace, and we're asking. How do we curb this? Now, please let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. You can also tweet at us at WayShowAfrica1 with the hashtag WayShow. Our phone line is now open. Please turn off the volume of your television set when you call in. And the number to call is 07025007749. So the reason I actually chose this video is this is the reality. You know, we have Association of Yahoo Mothers. We have people, yes. Yeah, people that have come out, they go to the mountain to pray that their children are Yahoo children. So they pray, yes, Association of Yahoo Mothers. They have all sorts. So so when someone is saying that the man of God should place a curse on politicians, why he should leave Yahoo boys alone, Yahoo boys are not their problem and all of that. You see, subtly, we have endorsed these things in different ways, right? We have validated it in different ways. Of course, social media has not helped. As I told you guys earlier, when I saw a video of a girl, knowing that it might be your head, they will behead to do the money ritual. She still said
that I can't be bothered.
Yes, she said she can't be bothered. She will still date him, whether she likes it or not. That it's Yahoo boys that are paying. I saw another video of a girl saying that if you do not have an iPhone 12, how would you be able to take care of me? So she disappeared. They did that soundtrack that you disappeared. So I'm not wondering how. But let me take Joseph's call. He's our first caller for the evening. Thank you for calling, Joseph. Let's hear what you have to say.
I'd be like audience because I'm shocked.
Go ahead.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, Joseph. Let's hear what you have to say.
Thank you. I'm really happy for coming on with this topic today. See, because I have a girlfriend. I'm not married. I have a girlfriend. Apparently, I should be outside. My girlfriend, for our own kid, our other thing. No matter if you video or data, she like going or Instagram, no mind for them. They just like a friend, boyfriend, a friend.
So Joseph, maybe you might have to call back. We're having a bit of difficulty hearing you. We're so sorry. He's trying to say he has a girlfriend that she goes on Instagram, the pressure and all of that. We're so sorry. We couldn't hear. Call back if you can. We'd love to hear that story. So it's interesting how, we've gotten to where we are. That even the girls that are even at risk, of losing their own lives because the guy might decide to use you as the what's it called?
What are you saying? This is not news. It's because you heard it from that girl, you're acting all surprised. Way back, girls do parole and they know the risk of going out on the road and getting involved, and they still do it. She only voiced what others do without saying it. So there's really nothing new under the sun, unfortunately. It's just that the level of the increase is getting more. And what is driving the pressure for me is social media.
Let's take a call, then we'll come back to you on social media. Are you there? Thank you for calling.
Hello, good evening, ladies.
Hi, thank you for calling.
Okay, my name is Mary from Gombe.
Thank you for calling, Mary.
Okay, there's something I would like you people to know, that even our movies have contributed to this thing. You watch movies, Nigerian movies, you see them, they will lock themselves in a door, do ritual, and the next thing you see money. There's something one Dr. Olufomilai on Twitter wrote yesterday. He said the blatant lie we have believed is that killing human beings for money, ritual killing brings money. Many people, it's like the movies have propagated the fact that if you do this thing, you really get the money. So people go all out and they will kill their friends, kill their brothers, kill their sisters, and at the end they'll find out that there is no money ritual or anything anyway. Sometimes our music, all these things, they promote people who indulge in Yahoo. So the rot is deep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
That's my contribution.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you very much.
We have a comment, Elsie.
Because speaking to that video you played, the first video, he wasn't the one saying this. It was from a song that he was then.
He was miming the song.
He was miming the song. That if they show you the way, would you be able to do it? But when she talked about movies, you remember that conversation also came out, and somebody was saying Kanaya or Kanaya. I can't remember who said it in the group. Where it seems like, yes, you go kill somebody, put the person in a dark room, there's a particular room in the house that you don't go to. These things are actually real.
I think you're even still talking about movies that we watched way back. Recent time videos, musical videos, portray a lifestyle of extravagance and flamboyancy. And sometimes there's an undertone of Yahoo that fuels and drives the wealth.
I hear Joseph
which is
back.
Really... Okay.
Thank you, Joseph. Okay.
As I was saying earlier, I did give her 10,000 naira and she did not satisfy with me. So she told me that her friend need to give her friend 20,000 naira a week. Immediately I told her I'm working to get my money. If I can be giving you 10,000 naira every week, in a month, making 30,000 naira. Even a bank, I manage in a bank.
Wow.
I will not be giving you 40,000 naira in a month. You are not his wife or husband, something like that.
Girlfriend allowance.
That one aside, I remember around early 1992 or 1993, when I was 17 years old, I remember then. If you have a issue with your people and you are took to the police station or arrested or something, a month, 2 months, well, they never let us to be doing as a criminal. And concerning what many said the other time, that claim of the thing that possibility there are people who do Yahoo or anything. I'm not trying to counter that, but I could remember that this movie of the thing I did when I was
for a very long time.
Like you've been told this movie on time to time, what the mental the day you begin to explain what they are doing like that. That does not mean that it will push me or push at that time. I don't make it a time that is 35. There's nothing like it. There's nothing like it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joseph.
So she said,
thank you, Joseph. Go ahead.
What he's saying now still takes me back to that conversation we had with the professor about Nollywood, and he was saying that the government cannot tell Nollywood what to produce, especially if that is what is selling. But right now, I'm thinking about it. I mean, all those movies go through the
The
censor
board.
Can we just say any movie that is portraying ritual killing should not be approved? Because trust me, that is a step in the right direction.
If I wanted
Why do you think that is the only movie you can do to make
I think
money?
some of them at
It
the
should be
time
banned.
I wanted
wanted to use it to even bring attention to the fact that these things
the
are
attention
happening.
is too much. It's okay.
I was going to say, I wanted to ask our honorable in the
They
making.
always
You know,
preach
that if
against-
you go into the house, what will you do differently in terms
About
of putting
this-
the laws? Yes,
this
because
Yahoo boys.
yes.
We have to discuss that in my manifesto. Don't bring my manifesto to this.
That is a politician right there.
Because you know why I say that? Because you see, these are the kinds of questions, right, that we are going to be asking you guys that say you want to run
When
as
we are having a
legislators,
debate,
right?
ask me that
Because yesterday we talked about legislation. And
Has been on the wall since, but we chose to be deceiving ourselves. Someone will join politics and all of a sudden he's wealthy, and we think children are not watching. We're here giving birth to children we have no resources, emotional and financial resources to cater for. Then, now God, they take care of children. Ladies, Nigeria is not ready for this conversation. When that time comes, we talk through. Thank you for your comments.
Norma, let me come to you.
It's something that it took a process to get us here. It took the process of negligence. It took the process of not paying attention. It took the process of corruption. You know, all of these are diversions that create and foster the right kind of environment for these things to thrive. It's going to take a process to bring us there. And it's going to take, you know how they used to say that it's a village.
It takes a
village to raise a child. We have to intentionally and deliberately get back to that place where we become responsible collectively and individually for ourselves as citizens of Nigeria for these things to begin to, for there to be solution to these problems.
What line about a village raising a child goes back to the pressure that parents feel on account of, now let's paint a scenario, a young girl or a lady or a guy does so much for the parent, and other families see, they push their children to, can you not see
what this person is doing?
So even that village is not ready
without
to
asking
raise
questions.
They know, they look, see, let me tell you something about bad parenting. A bad parent knows that they are bad parents. They only get upset when somebody states the obvious. Trust me, when you're failing in your duties, you know I'm goofed. And sometimes they look at the level of rot and damage and say, you know what? It's gone too far. I can't do much about it. There are parents who would look the other way when their child goes into prostitution and they take the money of that child and they feed. A mother knows. Come on, we are mothers.
You know what? Let me.
You would know when your child has gone right. You can tell. The signs are too. My mother used to say, the hair that I used to be a child, I did not cut it off. It's the same hair that is with me. That is to say, I have the experience, so I understand this part. This thing you're doing, I'm very conversant with it. When you make a wrong move, I'm very aware. So mothers know, fathers know, parents know when their children are going into Yahoo to bring them means. But because
they have formed an association. Let me take Vincent.
Their duty, which is really a failure on the part of parents.
Of course, it is.
Government has its own parts, but parents that bring children into this world and do not raise them, I don't know, I don't want to pass judgment on them, because really a bunch of Nigerian parents are failing their children.
We are not fit to be called parents. Let me take Vincent from Vincent. Thank you for calling from Yola.
Good evening.
Thank you for calling.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Honestly, this is a very important topic people are discussing.
Thank you.
And I want to believe the lady that just concluded her discussion. Honestly, we are having so much problem when it comes to parenting. We have seen it long time ago in so many places, in schools. It starts from when even parents will even go to schools and even bribe parents
to pass the exam
for positioning of their children.
Absolutely.
So we let those kind of things to seep or to go deep to the extent that now we are having issues with morality. I've seen so many people that have done money rituals close to my cycle. It exists, it works. But what we feel is that we fail to give the children the moral compass
to guide and shape.
And we're having too many bad parenting that is affecting so many young people, and those young people are mingling with the good ones and they are spoiling them. In developed countries, you just don't buy a car anyhow. You have to explain.
You
in America, if you have any car, you buy anyhow. You have to explain how you get it.
You buy with a loan, Vincent.
Vincent said
something.
something.
Yes, but you have to explain it's not on income.
Thank you.
But we have seen situations whereby somebody will buy a car, will buy anything without explanation, and government don't do anything about it.
Thank you, Vincent. Let's take some tubes.
From YouTube, it says, unfortunately, the youth and the very young will continue to be vulnerable to this because their basic needs are not met. The government and parents have to step up to protect and provide for our youth.
Absolutely.
Great discussions, ladies. Keep it up. And this is from ZO.
Thank you. Vincent said something. He said it works.
Of course.
Ritualist, Yahoo works. That's how come their numbers are increasing. So the same way parents have failed is really why, you know, a mother, we see it on the streets.
Apologies, I need to take this comment.
Please.
It says, hello everyone, enjoying the show so much. It's not all Yahoo guys that are wicked or bad. Some use this feed their parents and pay siblings school fees. No ritual, no nothing. I believe in updates.
Justification. A very no, the heading I didn't understand that.
You heard what that young boy said, that we didn't come for Yahoo Plus, so it's just Yahoo we came for.
Oh,
they know how to differentiate. Because Yahoo Plus is the one that adds a bit of jazz and ritual killings to it. The Yahoo is just internet smartness. If you're dumb, they outsmart you and they collect your money.
And
so God will help
to
us.
support what Milola has said, the last most mothers go to native doctors to support their children.
On that note, we've run out of time. But you see, the thing is, the conversation is just starting. We are going to keep talking. And I like what you said. The truth is, as a mother, you know.
You know.
You know when your child
is...
See, do you know that as old as I am like this, if I tell my mother maybe I did something, I bought a new thing, she'll say, how did you get the first question? So the thing used to annoy me.
Even you as a mother.
Do you understand? The thing is, my mom still would ask me till tomorrow.
The fear
Let her
of
just
parents
see
is still in us. Even as a mother. There's a way my dad will raise his voice. I will remember the fear with which we were raised.
If I buy
such things don't exist anymore.
You know what they call it now? You know what they call it? They say
the times have changed.
Do you understand?
The times
my
have
mom
changed,
still asks me that, where did you get just the as in she will not ask me anything. The first thing that comes
about your mother
that is alive.
My mother that is dead, there are some things I want to do. I'm still hearing her voice in my
your head.
They are
and
there.
I know what she will
they are
say.
with you. We have lost the moral compass of raising children.
So I think we need to go back. And again, so it's not because you are able to birth a child into this world that qualifies you to be called a parent.
Yeah.
You are not a parent. Parenting it takes a
responsibility.
It takes a lot for you to be a parent, and you can we all rightly said, do not bring children into this world that you do not have the strategy to raise. Right? You're bringing children, you're not planning for their lives, you're literally throwing them out to do anything. It's wickedness.
What is happening?
Let's like you mentioned, maybe we should put law in place that say anybody that cannot raise a child should go to jail.
Milola, let's not forget.
Because it sounds funny, but really, people need to start taking responsibility.
Milola, let's not forget that some people have found themselves in situation as victims. They didn't become parents
by choice.
Those
are
hard
exceptions.
situations.
There are exceptions
There
to general
a majority of that exception, seeming exception that people are not paying attention to.
So it takes us back to sex education.
Okay, so on that note,
this is a multifaceted conversation that cannot be finished.
It cannot finish, like. Thank you so much, ladies.
It's just the beginning.
It's just the beginning, but we're going to keep talking
about
absolutely.
it.
And Milola, please, I need you to find that law that we're going to construct for
you and I, you're part of the campaign.
I'm part of your team all the way. All right, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Norma. Thank you, Milola. Thank you, Elsie Godwin. Now, before we go, do ensure you follow us on Instagrams at Wayshow Africa and on Twitter is at Wayshow Africa 1. You can interact with us further, drop a comment, and more importantly, follow all our social media engagements. Remember to like, share, comment, and invite your families and friends to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. But I'm acutely aware that the possibility of fraud is even more prevalent in today's world because of internet and cell phones and the opportunity for instant communication with strangers. So let's not even start to introduce children too early to social media, right? We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8 p.m. as we bring another great conversation to your screen. Enjoy.
For upcoming artists to blow in Nigeria.
Welcome to Plus Trending. I am Booking November, your host, saying thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Welcome back. It's tea time on PlusTvAfrica.
Practice makes perfect. I'm not perfect yet, but I'm a lot better than I used to be.
He's a king. He's entitled to marry 100 if he wants to.
It is engagement we need to have.
Those who suffer miscarriages are never taken into account.
Members of the National Assembly are also influence peddlers.
You are sitting on Nigerians' money.
From the Babin, I pay my rent. On the Babin, I send my children to school.
A consultative engagement.
No any tangible notification before they ban us.
It's one thing for people to be at your back and listen to the moment, and another thing for them to still be with you when push comes to shove.
I will do everything to take Lagos out of the national grid.
Nearly 400,000 babies are born each day worldwide, according to the United Nations. The COVID-19 pandemic is not stopping women from continuing to have them. Some tell us that they were already expecting or had plans to have them before the COVID global crisis erupted. However, others worry about how the decisions to have a child may affect mother and baby, as the current time proves to have some worrisome health and economic challenges. So what does research say about pregnancies and the coronavirus? We explore this and more coming up on today's episode. Hello, I am Orion Itangishaka. Welcome to Our Voices. On this episode, we discuss maternal health during a pandemic. Doctors know that viruses can affect pregnant women and their developing fetus
problems. So far, studies about pregnant women infected with the new coronavirus
show both reassuring and alarming results.
They had increased hospitalization, and they had increased ICU admission, and they had increased receipt of mechanical ventilation when they compared them to women of the same reproductive age with COVID-19 that were not pregnant.
Doctors are trying to determine if COVID-19 is more dangerous for pregnant women than getting the flu. Yet the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says pregnant women who get COVID-19 and are hospitalized have higher rates of serious illnesses, are more likely to have miscarriages, deliver babies prematurely, and more likely to have stillborn babies. Other studies contradict these results.
Since COVID-19 is so new, we don't have all of the data that we really need to make an assessment as to what level of risk it imparts on a pregnant woman.
For example, could stress be a factor? Pandemic-related hurdles to prenatal care, like lockdowns, prevented some women from getting checkups.
Take a breath and go right back at it.
Or even getting medical care when giving birth. Some women put off seeing their doctors out of fear of getting the coronavirus.
Prenatal care, particularly in the third trimester, is one of the ways that we ensure both mother's health and ensure that there aren't stillbirths.
Until more is known, pregnant women need to protect themselves from the coronavirus by wearing face masks, social distancing, avoiding crowds, and practicing good hand hygiene. Doctors say women also need to call their physician if they notice decreased fetal movement.
Thanks, Carol, for that report. The fear of getting infected while pregnant is very real for mothers. Somali health authorities said that the number of maternal checkup and childhood vaccinations are plunging during the pandemic, as many people fear catching COVID-19 at clinics and hospitals. Healthcare workers worry the lack of medical care for pregnant women and children could result in a wave of common disease that could take more victims than COVID-19. Mohammed Shiknor reports from Mogadishu.
Amina Mustafa and her family were displaced by the drought 3 years ago and have since been living in a Mogadishu relief camp. Her 3-week-old baby needed vaccinations, but she was too afraid of catching COVID-19 to go to a clinic.
I couldn't go to a healthcare facility because of this COVID-19. It is spreading across the entire world. I fear for my health and that of my child. We are scared of contracting the virus at a health facility. My child and I have missed important prenatal and postnatal vaccinations, all because of this COVID-19.
Somali health workers are alarmed by the sharp decline in child immunizations and visits to the clinics during the pandemic. Volunteers like Saadia Ahmed are going door to door, urging families to vaccinate their children, but it is no easy task.
Every mother, whether pregnant or lactating, says they are not ready to come to the health facility for vaccination. Most fear contracting COVID-19.
The ICRC says visits to the Somali Red Crescent clinics by children under 5 and pregnant women dropped by more than half in the first 7 months of this year compared to 2019.
COVID-19 has badly affected the entire country and forced mothers and children not to come to health centers for vaccinations in fear of the virus. This fall in vaccinations will result in more and more children contracting contagious diseases.
We have indeed realized vaccination numbers have dramatically dropped due to the emergence of COVID-19. Nonetheless, Somalia's health ministry is exploring new
health system and only adding to the war.
Explain more after the short break.
Being part of Our Voices
Voices is about more than just sitting here and talking about women's issues. It's about listening to them
and bringing their opinions to the table and making sure their voices are heard.
Because our lived experiences, our stories, and our voices will help shape the next generation.
Welcome back, you with our voices. Let's go to Jos, Nigeria. When the worldwide pandemic was declared, my VOA colleague Ifeoki Teng's wife was already pregnant. He tells us about that experience.
My wife Nambam and I didn't plan to have a child in the midst of a global pandemic, but we didn't have a choice. The first case of COVID-19 in Nigeria was confirmed in February, when my wife was already 7 months pregnant. Nambam went into labor 3 weeks early. We rushed to the hospital and were grateful to see few patients in the waiting room. On April 18th, we welcomed Deborah Emewabasi into the world. In Nigeria, a grandmother usually comes to stay with the new parents to help with the baby and the mother's healing after the birth. But with the COVID-19 travel restrictions and both our mothers in the high-risk age range, we have to handle things on our own, including entertaining our 3-year-old son. Despite increasing number of infections, Nigerian authorities on May 4th eased a weeks-long lockdown in major cities, but not in Jos. So I continue to work from home as much as possible to keep my growing family healthy.
I reached out to Ifeok and his wife to find out how they're doing and to learn more about their experience in welcoming their bundle of joy during this pandemic. Take a look.
I'm going to start with you, Ifeok. How worried were you when you realized that there was a global crisis happening, a pandemic? How worried were you for your pregnant wife and new baby?
For me, I'll say just for a lot of uncertainty. Having a child, and my wife was already in the 3rd trimester. And so I think I just had a lot of fears of, what would this mean? Which hospital do we go to? Which hospital can we be sure that, we'll be safe, for this? I think we feared a lot of complications, and so we're just uncertain. I think that's the word we just used to be uncertain of what, this will bring.
Now, Ifeok, how about the lockdowns? Was that a hurdle for you in getting the medicine and the food that your wife and baby needed during and after the pregnancy?
I think one of the blessings was essential services were allowed to function, and essential services included, of course, apart from people in the grocery stores and pharmacists and medical personnel. But I say thank God journalists were also allowed to function, and so with a press card I was able to move around. I think the only problem was the scarcity of some of the medical supplies. There's always a list which she's given to bring to the hospital, some medical supplies to come with to the hospital when it's time for, to give birth. And I think at some point we went around from pharmacist to pharmacist trying to find a specific medical supply, and it was very hard to get it. I think we actually just went to the hospital hoping that, while she's there, somebody else can run around and still go and check and find before the whole process is over. Yes. So
now I'm going to turn to you, Mrs. Etang. Now, how was your pregnancy and delivery experience during this pandemic overall?
Okay, I'll say my pregnancy this time was different from the first, because this time I had to wear my mask. I had to be extra careful going to the hospitals because I had fears and I wasn't sure about the sanitary level of the hospital. So I had to be careful, kept social distance. And for the delivery went well. I had my husband around and had my mother-in-law and my mom. They were all there. And fortunately for me, on arriving at the hospital, there were fewer patients there. And so I wasn't as anxious, I wasn't afraid. And I progressed in labor and the baby came.
How was your postpartum care for you and baby? Were you worried about going in and out of facilities, hospitals, clinics? Were you worried about you and your baby contracting COVID-19?
Yeah, for my postpartum care, I didn't enjoy some privileges I had the last time, because here in Nigeria, when a woman puts to bed, she either goes to her mom's house or the mom comes over to her house. And so I didn't enjoy all of that because I had to just stay home with my husband, and he helped around take care of our son. I helped around take care of the baby, and also for the hospitals. Yes, I had I gave her all the vaccines she needed to get, but while going for those vaccines, I had fears because I felt I knew for sure there was a pandemic, but